Manchester City spent £1.4 billion building the most beautiful football machine on earth. Then they signed a virus that refuses to run their code. Erling Haaland is not a footballer. He is a weapon designed to exploit the source code of every defense that has ever existed. He doesn't dribble. He doesn't create space. He deletes the defender occupying it. 2023, Crystal Palace, 19 touches, total in 90 minutes. 3 of them were goals. That is not a stat line. That is a kill count. Because to understand why he's built like this, you don't start with Manchester City. You start 1100 years ago, on a coastline that trained men to survive winters that killed everyone softer than them. Against Arsenal, the best defense in the league, he can vanish for 20 straight minutes. No touches, no presence. Analysts call it low involvement. We call it the ultimate concealment. That's the trap. When a defender stops feeling watched, his brain relaxes. And the moment his guard drops for half a second, that's a longship sitting just past the horizon, waiting for the fog to lift.
Where did he go? He hasn't touched the ball in 15 minutes. He's not even in the game anymore.
"6'4", 90 kilograms, and 36 kilometers per hour. That's not athleticism. That's a rule of physics filing a complaint. Remember Dortmund. The cross comes in too high, mathematically unreachable. Haaland doesn't negotiate with math. He launches his entire frame into the sky and freezes the goalkeeper in real time.
I don't think about the goal. I don't think about the man in front of me. I see the net. I execute.
That's not a football sentence. That's a machine describing its own programming. But machines don't get built. They get forged. Some players are trained. Erling Haaland was forged. Norway doesn't produce flair players. Norway produces players who outlast you. This is where the myth of the Viking earns its name. A Viking raid was never about chaos. It was brutal, disciplined efficiency. Sail in fast, strike the one target that matters, leave before the enemy understands what happened. Here's where people get the robot idea wrong. A robot is calm because it feels nothing. Haaland is calm because the storm hasn't been given permission to break yet.
He's not cold. He's waiting. This whole time, he's just been waiting.
5 goals in a single Champions League match against Leipzig. 9 goals across 2 games against Union Berlin. That's not a striker having a good night. That's a berserker who finally got the order to stop holding back. They call him the Viking. But a Viking never raided for glory. He raided because the sea gave him no other language to speak. Western media says Pep Guardiola tamed Haaland, taught him proper football. The truth is the opposite. Haaland didn't learn Pep's system. He infected it. Pep wants 1,000 passes. Haaland wants 1 touch, 1 yard, 1 goal. And the terrifying part, Pep let him. Because even the smartest coach in the world knows you don't fix a weapon this efficient. You just aim it. But a weapon this hot doesn't run for free. Blue light blocking glasses after sundown. A biometric sensor on his chest while he sleeps. He didn't sacrifice fun. He deleted the variable entirely. Critics call this boring. They're wrong that it matters. The storm was never supposed to be entertaining while it waits. Here's the number that should scare defenses more than any single match: consistency. Year 1 at Dortmund, over 20 league goals as a teenager. Year 1 at Manchester City, 52 goals across all competitions, a Premier League record in his very first season in England. Not a purple patch, not a hot streak that cools off. A permanent setting. Most strikers have a good season and a bad season. Haaland doesn't have a bad season. He has a slower month. And then the storm resets. Injuries slow him down. Suspensions sideline him. New coaches rebuild the system around him. None of it matters. 6 months out, and the first game back, he scores like the clock never stopped. That's the part that should genuinely worry the rest of Europe. This isn't a hot streak they're waiting out. It's a weather system with no off-season. And that's the real difference between a talented player and a broken one. Talent has good days. A broken system doesn't know what a bad day is.
He disappears in the finals. The Viking doesn't raid where the water's too rough.
Let's check the actual record. 5 goals in a single Champions League knockout match. A European record. Hat tricks in do-or-die knockout legs against defenses built specifically to stop him. That's not a player who shrinks under pressure. A Viking raid was never measured in how long the ship stayed on the beach. It was measured in how much was standing when the ship left. And it's not just the knockout rounds. Look at the title race stretch. The final weeks of a season, when fatigue and pressure are supposed to slow every player down. Statistically, his production doesn't dip in April and May. It sharpens. Compare that to the big game bottler label. Critics love to hang on strikers who genuinely do fade under pressure. Haaland doesn't fit that pattern. He's the exception the narrative was built to explain away. And can't. Ask any coach who's had to prepare for him twice in the same fortnight. Home leg, away leg, no rest in between. They'll tell you the same thing. There's no version of a bad Tuesday that makes this matchup easier. The exception isn't a phase anymore. It's the standard. A machine doesn't feel pressure. It doesn't care about your narrative arc. It either executes or it resets. And a Viking doesn't explain the raid before it happens.
My job is simple. I'm here to score. Nothing else matters.
He is not a striker. He is the storm that Norway spent 1,000 years learning how to build, finally given a name, a shirt number, and a shoreline to raid. He is the broken code. Next simulation, Mbappe's dark aura, or Bellingham's silent calculation. Drop your pick below. Subscribe before the next glitch loads.